Hi, good evening, everyone. It's Naval, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm just sharing the link across the multiple platforms which I use. So give me one moment and I'll be there with you. All right, I am actually done. So let me just jump onto my comment sections. Hi, Suraj. Hi, Eid. Hi, Tess. Sat Shri Akal. Yes, I'm feeling much better. Hi, Gopal. Hi, Gagan. Yep, I'm doing good. Hi, Nitya. Hi, Kissy. Hi, Ankur. Hi, Shravan. Hi, Prakash. Sat Shri Akal. Hi, Aman. Last couple of days been really, I would say, not good in terms of profits. Thanks, MTN. But it's okay. They're not all the days where we can have like profits all the time. We'll get it. We'll get it. Maybe tomorrow we can cover. Amazon is the only thing which is like hurting me really badly. Hi, Srini. Hi, Uttam. Yes, MTN, I'm doing much better. I wish I would have taken care of while I was just rushing outside my apartment, but it's okay. I'm doing much better. Hi, Manibhai. Hi, Jay. Hi, Reddy. Yes, I'm feeling much better. You can see that in my voice. I'm feeling much better. So first and foremost thing which I wanted to discuss, or in fact, tell is, do not get boggled down with few days of losses. Even if you have lost enough, it's all right. We can recover. We have a system that works. Just last 2-3 days, it's not working out because the market is not behaving as per our expectation. But they are about 200 days in 1 year. So if it doesn't work like 2-3 days as per the plan, it's all right. We only need one good trade to make a comeback, one positive trade, and we'll be back. So don't think that yes, world has changed and you have lost. It's all right. We can always recover. Yes, BA, I'm not trading BA for now, but Amazon, yes, Amazon has been a devastation in my account. Yes, recently, yes. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Deepak. Hi, Misa. Hi, Verino. Hi, Nancy. PayPal, I've always said PayPal is not a good stock, but we can figure it out. But now my thought process is that whatever we have done in last 2-3 days, just take it out of your mind. It's very hard, but we have to clean our plate before we can start fresh. We have 2 days into the end of this year. If you do not want to trade, it's okay. You can plan for next year. If you want to trade 2 days, trade only setups which you are feeling confident about. Don't go with emotions. Like whenever we trade with emotions, we lose. Today I did not trade much because I was like taking rest throughout the day. I only had one trade, but I was holding Amazon and it gave me good loss. So now I'm clean plate. I only have Nvidia now. So let's see if Nvidia works out for tomorrow or not. Otherwise, I'll be not doing many trades for tomorrow, but I am focused on planning for next week. Based on my understanding, market held 4770 today, which I posted on Twitter and in the Telegram channel as well. And it bounced towards the high of the day, which was 4795, and then retraced. Even then, it did close above 4779. This tells you something, that market is not ready to die. It's just last 2 days, we might see something happening in the mega caps, but let's see. Tesla, I have only ready $5,000 is more than enough to recover. I was like, one time my account was about 60,000 and I was end up with $300, and then I recovered from 300 all the way to 56,000. So 5,000 is about 13 times more than that. So don't lose that. 5,000 is more than enough. Don't consider that it's a very small amount. It's a good amount for recovery. The only thing is you need to control your emotions. Do one good trade per day. That's it. All right. So we will talk about all this after analysis, or if you want, I can share the link right away and we can start with that, and then we can go into the analysis, because we need to like take out our frustration, and that can only be out if we talk to each other. And once we feel better, we will have much better focus and we'll be able to get better ideas. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me share the Zoom link right away. But come and talk. Don't like sit there and silent. We need to talk to each other. All right, let me add. I've shared the link. You can all join in and we can talk. If you want, I can stop the YouTube and we can discuss right here. Hi, Silva. Hi, Maraj. Oh, hi, Suraj. I've shared the Zoom link. Anybody who's interested can join in the meeting and then we can talk. Or if you want to talk later, it's all right. We can always talk later. I'll give a couple of more minutes to join in. So anybody who wants to speak, just raise your hand here and then we can talk before like doing the analysis. The link is with you all. I don't want to share this link on Twitter, otherwise we will have trolls which will come and then they just deviate the entire discussion by doing unnecessary things. Or let me share it on Twitter. Let's see. Can okay, I've shared it because I'm controlling this, so I'm not worried. Yes, Suraj.
Navaldeep, good evening.
Good evening.
So today morning, I tried the open equal to low scanner piece, and I mean I have been trying that for the last 1 week, and my hit ratio success rate is less than 75%. So I wanted to understand what am I doing wrong there. So for example, today morning, BA was open equal to high, and target was open equal to low at 8:49 or 8:50 Central Time Zone.
That's
Right.
about
So
like 9:50 something, right?
correct. I wait 20 minutes into the market open and then I do that scan.
Okay.
And BA, I went as it's open equal to high. I went 205. 200 put, and then target 227 call. So I made money in target, but I lost money in BA.
But did you respected that open high stop loss?
Open high stop loss.
Like if this is open low, then 225 is your stop loss. If it is
Oh,
open high 59.71, that's the stop loss.
59.71 is the stop loss?
Yes, that's why
Okay,
open equal
sorry.
to high and you go down. That's the reason that it has very low chances of losing, because you know your stop loss pretty clearly. And by that time, you will have that stop loss clearly defined because it held for that 30 minutes. So even if you have 75% success, that's incredible amount of success.
Oh, okay, that's good. I mean, I go small, but I'm playing with small number of calls.
That's
So I
fine.
didn't. Yeah,
Point
yeah.
is, you need to have a system, and that
Mm,
system should be like, let me give you an analogy, right? When
mm,
you go to a ATM, right, you have a
mm,
card. You put that
mhm,
card into the machine, you put in your pin, and you get the money out. Okay, you trust that
mm.
system, right? Anytime you need money, you do that, correct?
Yes, yes,
Similarly
yeah,
here, you need to build that trust in the system.
yes. That's right. That's right. Completely agree.
Sometimes your card may get stuck, but you do not lose the trust in the system that yes, next time if I do it, it will work fine,
Correct,
right?
correct. Yep,
Build
yep.
that trust in your system. Do not uh, boggle down with some losses. If it needs some
Mm,
tweaking or refining, do that. Instead of 20 minutes, wait till 30 minutes. That's what is my preference, 10 o'clock. Wait till 10 o'clock, look at that scanner and see if something is making sense to you. Don't try with like multiple lots, try with single lot. If something has to work in a system, it should work for a single lot as well,
correct, correct. Yep,
correct?
that's right. Right,
Do
right,
that,
right.
repeat it. And once you have faith that yes,
Mm-hmm.
now this system works like this, and there are particular stocks which respect this system, go with multiple lots after that.
Correct, correct. Yep.
Okay,
Sure, sure. Thank you.
75 rate is really really good.
Yes, but I have become more emotional trader last couple in the last week and the last lot of money.
That's fine. I
So
lost thirty
yeah,
thousand dollars.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'll get back to the practice of doing it the right way.
I will post my what do you call account dollar tomorrow in the chat, and I will show
Mm,
you how to, or how would I convert that back into the gains. Like if you talk about cricket, even Sachin had bad times, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't know how to play the cricket. It's just you need to look back and see what you are doing wrong, either in emotion or it's not the right market or something is not right. That's why we're making losses, and we need to correct that. It's as simple as it is, and you need one good trade, and you will have that positivity backing you up, and you will start making things. It's all about the mindset. Trading is all about the mindset. When not to panic and book loss, when to book gain, it's all in the mind. Sometimes like we have an urge to book the loss, and as soon as we cut the loss, the stock reverses. That's the Murphy's law. Whatever wrong we want to think, and that is going to happen all the time. So it's all in the brain. Okay, so we'll get it, don't worry. Hi Hubert.
Hi, Naval.
Hi.
Glad to see that you're doing a lot better. So
Yep.
I'm noticing that a lot of the tech names on the hourly have Head and Shoulders. I was looking at UPST. I was looking at Nvidia as well.
1 second. Let me remove the volume, and then we'll go through one by one.
Sure.
You're talking about UPST.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start from day chart. UPST could not hold on to the 12 EMA. It was yesterday. So it had a bearish engulfing yesterday, and today is add on to that. Now, possibly what can happen here is we might end up with a candle like this in green color, and that will become a morning star. Or we get fail and we still remain the 12 EMA, and this Fibonacci of 151 act as a good resistance. If that happens, it's going to consolidate, but it is consolidating in this area. Then once the consolidation is over, it's going to pop on the higher side. So it's a matter of time. Okay, now let's look this in 1 hour. That's what you're referring, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's go to 1 hour. So 1 hour. This is what you're saying?
Yeah.
But look, it already did this. It bounced, right? It came back here.
So that invalidated the head and shoulders that's showing?
Yes. If it fails here and come back here again, then you have this area. But right now from the neckline, it bounced and closed higher.
Okay.
Okay. So we have to look into this one more time, probably initial few hours in the morning, because you're using 1 hour candle. Let's see if it holds this baseline, this neckline. 146 approximately, that's the baseline. If it holds it, then it invalidates it and then carries on.
Okay.
But on daily charts, it's still in the negative trend and it's trying to bounce above the 12 EMA. So that's the only positive which is there in UPST. If I just roll you back, on one day, see, this is the negative trend which is starting at 312.
Yep.
And since then, it's not able to capture 12 EMA. First time it did, then a big bearish candle came down and covered it. And now it is a doji. Now let's see if it has a green candle tomorrow, which will come a morning star and which will be really, really useful for the next week.
Okay. So I was looking at Nvidia. It also has the same thing.
Nvidia,
and I'm just kind of
do that.
Okay.
So Nvidia, this is the daily chart. It is still in the positive momentum. You see the 12 EMA is close, but it's still able to hold above it. Plus it closed above the psychological level of 300, right? Above the regression trend line, which is really important. Like in the last couple of weeks, it was not able to hold this. It was underneath the 34. Today, it tested the 34 EMA. And let me know if you can see it clearly. Tested the 34 EMA exactly to the point, bounced from it, and closed above the regression channel, closed above the 12 EMA. So this is positive for me on the daily candles. Now let's look at the 1 hour candle. Even on the 1 hour candle, see the trend is still positive. Because I'm taking the candles from last week, right here from 284. The 12 EMA is right there. And it's still above it. The only plus point here is that it is above the regression channel now. Plus it's making a flag here, a bull pennant. Let me draw that on the, so this was a bull pennant which was there. And it broke out somewhat here, has a potential to go until this point. And talking about head and shoulders, if this is what you mean.
Yes, that's what I'm seeing.
but it's not there.
It's not complete yet. Yeah.
Yes. So it's a potential, yes, but it's not there yet. It needs to come down to 295 back, then it can come down to 281.
Got it. So one thing that I'm a little puzzled about, Naval, is SPY, QQQ, they're all at all-time highs, but the market is suffering. Is there a reason why those ETFs are that high and the whole market is just in red?
See, let's go to this one. Or better, let me go to Finviz. Finviz is better. On my MacBook, it looks much better as compared to my Windows laptop. So look at this. Apple, Microsoft, and Google, Tesla, Facebook. If you consider them, look how much they have moved in last 1 year.
Yep.
And their component size in the market is humongous. Like if you take out this 10 companies and take out your 1 year performance, your index will be negative 10 to 20%. So this company is doing all of that. And if you look at Dow Jones, look at Apple, Microsoft, Visa, Home Depot, they're just running. Does they give a clear picture of the economy? No, they used to, but not now. Look at Russell. This gives you the real economy. It's busted. For last February to this point, IWM or Russell is not moving at all. So all the money which came in was invested into this big stocks. Look here. If you're invested in Russell in March, you're slower than what you were in March. And comparatively, if I do the comparison with SPY, March, it was 393. That's a 25% move right now.
Yep.
And this move is only because of 5 or 6 premium stocks. And that is called as index management. It gives you illusion that yes, market is doing wonderfully good, but overall the market is not doing good. So we need to be very stock specific. That's why when you see a move in terms of stocks, like for example, Nvidia ran from 230 all the way to 346 in straight line because there were no other stocks to use that kind of free money. Going forward, like we still have that FOMC $120 billion with ECB. They're still going to be pumped into this, into the tech sector. Once the money starts to come out, this will be the sector which will be hit hard. And once you see the big names going down, IWM right now, which is consolidating, will start to crash. We still have a couple of months for better consolidation to see if we have a wider spread of this money. If not, we will end up in negative in 2022. Let me read some comments are coming. I don't know about that. Hi Ganesh. Shop is making, yes, the volume on indexes gets smaller on the day passes. This is very, no, the volume is not smaller. It's just because it's the holiday week. You need to consider that, Mark. In phase range, you can select money on the left. That's the S&P. 52%, 66%, 63%, 33%. And if you have stocks which are giving you what do you call, returns like this, the index will supposed to move. And on the contrary, I don't know where we have heat maps.
Thank you, Naval.
I'm just trying to see the heat map for IWM. No, I don't get it.
One last question, Naval. So you said cut losses and stop being emotional. And you also talked about whenever you cut the loss, that's when the stock moves. What do you do in that sense? Let's say you're holding on to Amazon and it's been a losing stock. It's cost you all this money. And as soon as you cut that loss, Amazon just jets out of whatever pennant or consolidation it's been going through. What do you do?
I will jump onto the stock again.
Okay.
See, I made a decision to get out from a stock. It's fine because I may be thinking at that time from an emotional point of view. So I cut my, like for example here. In our sheet, we had a stop loss of Amazon 33.70, right?
Yes.
Look at the low, it's 33.72. Even today, it did not break that low. What it did was, it definitely make lower low, lower highs, which is negative. Close around this 33.88 once again, which it has done in the past as well. But it did not break the low, which was right here. It means if you take this, let me add one more time frame. Add one time frame. And 2 days for 5 years. So this is 2-day candle. So in 2-day candle, right? You see right here, it is still holding this area. So I was emotional. I cut down my losses. Tomorrow, if it runs, I will jump on it again. That was the trade which was wrong on my part, and it will be considered into wash sale. Yes, but I made a mistake. So I want to, I don't want to miss that opportunity thinking that, yes, I cut the loss and it jumped again. So I will jump if it is making sense to me at that time. Because if I knew that it's going to jump, I would not have sold. At that time, either I was panicking because I did not have a right trade to begin with, or I must be too much in position size when I'm cutting my losses. Like with me, position size was an issue. So that's the reason I cut it. And I don't have Amazon now. Tomorrow, if it runs or gaps up, I will regret, yes. But I will try to compensate it by looking into a stock which can give me much better return next day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Naval.
Mark, you will have a wash sale, yes. Yes, Mark, I know. Wash sale is a pain for all of us, but it's there. But the fear of wash sale should not let me get into the new trades. That's why whenever I make money, I cash it out and I pay advance taxes so that I do not have to worry about this later on. All right, so we have, hi Manchak.
Oh, hi Naval, can you please have a look AMD and Tesla?
AMD is making an evening star right here, but it has a support of 146, which is the 12 EMA. If it breaks 146, then AMD will continue to fall. 146 is AMD's stop loss.
Stop loss 146, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Tesla, I think if it comes around 1060, 1070, it's a good opportunity to enter because it's kind of making inverted head and shoulders. If it comes down like this, maybe a little bit more, and jumps, it's a good opportunity to add. So 1060, 1070 is a good area for Tesla to add. Inverted head and shoulders.
Okay. Thank you so much, Naval. Thank you.
Baba, I don't have any trade on Baba, Pinky, because it's something which is a disappointment, and not sure what to do with Baba. It's making lower lows every day. It may come down into 2 digits. I don't know. This is purely political. As a company, this is not the company's performance. This is a complete political pressure on Baba. Hi there.
Hi, Naval. So my question going into the next year is more towards like stock picking. So I think like till as soon as we get into January 20, we'll have this earnings season again. But do you think like I should keep a closer eye on beaten down stocks with respect to like this tax loss harvesting? Like, do you think money will
The
get
tax loss
into?
harvesting was already done. It's not happening right now. It was done.
Okay. No.
So
People putting money back because I can't imagine like I traded T-Doc when it was like 250, 300. Now it's at 90. Same
it
with
will go down to 20. It will not go back.
Okay.
It's just clear that thought from your head.
No.
Companies which are
So I'm
beaten
not
down.
trying to invest, but just like.
No, I'm just giving you an opinion on that.
Okay.
That companies which are beaten down doesn't mean that you need to invest in them.
Okay.
Look for a company which is growing and which is making new highs with the market. That will give you much better return as compared to a company which is losing. And for that, I always invest in high mega caps or in the SPY ETF.
Makes sense.
Even in the entire 1 year, SPY moved, even if all the other stocks moved or not moved. It made a new all-time high today.
Yeah, for the past 3 months, I challenged myself to trade only on 3 tickers, whatever it is. I want to learn all strategies like doing iron corridors normal, so that going forward when I pick the right stock, I will have tenfold, fivefold things. So just wanted to test myself in there
So
because
do one thing.
Yeah.
Start looking into the sectors which you think can be really good for the next year.
Right.
Okay. Keep that in mind that until March, there is going to be a significant money coming into the market. After March, that money is not going to be there. And all this money, which is going to be stopped or start to taken out, will be taken out where it was invested in first place. Keep that in back of your mind when you are trying to plan for it.
Well, when new money not invested doesn't mean like taking out the money.
No, that's the next step.
Okay.
See, why we are why FOMC or ECB is increasing the interest rate. It's just this liquid capital flow is too much in the market. That is causing the inflation. See, if you're going to a nearby restaurant, have you seen or realized the items you're used to order? They are added up like $2, $3.
Yes.
If you go to buy anything in Macy's this year, especially in Thanksgiving and Christmas, did you find any kind of big discounts?
No, with cars and all those, no big discount. In fact, like
Nothing is happening. It means that people are spending too much. People are using that capital flow which is available to them,
right,
which is creating a supply and demand gap. More and more people want it because they have that money. So with increased interest rates, all these things will come down substantially.
yeah,
And
that's
then
helpful.
Fed, who has invested all this money into the bond market, like 240, $120 billion per month. They will cut it down and they will start recouping that bond. Supposedly, people who don't understand, let me explain it to them how it works. For example, Aditya, you have a company, okay, and you need money. One way is to raise the money through stock market. Second is to raise the money through private loans. Third is to issue bonds and kind of taking loans from the Fed government. So what it does is you will issue that, yes, I want a $1 billion bond. I will pay an interest of 0.002 at end of 2 years. Fed will give you that money and they will take your bond. And at end of the 1 year maturity, you need to pay it back. Now, Fed is not adding new money, not buying new bonds. They want to recoup that money now. So you have to sell something to raise that money back so that you can pay the Fed back. Correct? So when that will happen, there is no fresh money, plus the existing money is also going away. How would that impact your stock or your investments? You will have to sell and then you have to raise that capital. Just sharing you the fundamentals, keep this clear in your head when you are making the decisions.
Yeah, so this is definitely helpful because I was under the impression that like when a money fund manager, he takes out of money from somewhere, he has to invest it somewhere else. So I was always under that impression.
I didn't get, can you please repeat, please?
So what I was thinking is like, let's say, for example, if a fund manager invested in Nvidia and my expectation is when the free money stops, Nvidia is corrected at least 10-20%. So
Much more than that is possible, yes.
My expectation was he has to invest that money somewhere else. So he'll put it in some other stock or some other.
No, that's what I said.
Yeah.
That this money is all notional.
No, right.
Whatever you see on the stocks is a notional money. It's not a physical money.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So when this valuation goes away, or supposedly, for example, Nvidia goes down, that money will be, that notional money will be deducted from his account. He'll not be selling this on purpose.
Right. Yeah.
He'll be already losing from his asset values.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I think 2 days back I said that S&P is still not that expensive when it was used to be in 2008 or 2000. 2008, S&P was running at a premium of P by E of 50. Now it's running at 29. So still there's potential. But whether it's going to be impacted after this bond buying program ends, that is something we need to see, and we need to be ready for that. It doesn't mean that that person will invest somewhere else.
Sure.
And one thing I would recommend, stop reading articles, because all this is coming because you have read a lot on Twitter. Look at the price section.
That's true. Yeah.
Look at the price section. Go to any of the data from Federal Reserve. Look how they're investing. Read about the fundamentals, economics, and then things will be clear. Okay, because I used to do the same thing what you are going through. I used to read articles because I then got my mind presumed with all this input that yes, a fund manager is buying this, or there's a dark pool, or there's some purchase which is happening. But that should reflect here, right, in the price. If something is not there in the price, that means it's not right. There are news, there are catalysts which are there, but people who are investing in those catalysts, they are in there much early than it comes into the market. So keep an eye on the price action of anything you are looking into. ETF, stocks, bonds, look at them and read about Federal Reserve. They have good amount of their data on the website. And let me show you that. And it's for everybody. Read about all this. You must heard about repo rate, reverse repo rate, transactions. Read about all this. Read about this. This will clear out your doubts when you're reading that article.
Yeah, sure. This is very helpful.
And this is for everybody, because this is something which 99% people avoid. It will take some time to understand the monetary policy, the rates, the operations. It will, I can do one session on this, a separate time, but if you all read through it, you will have a clear understanding of how that money comes in and that money moves the market. So once you understand the impact of coming in, you will appreciate the impact of going out of that money. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Naval, for this. Definitely helpful.
No problem.
I have one other question. So I am invested in airline stocks. I've been looking at the airport traffic data, Hawaii data, Disneyland, all those data. All the data is almost 70 to 80% of 2020, 2019,
Yes.
but the stock price is not moving. Like what could that be?
See, it will take at least one good season. I'm also like invested into NCLH. I also recommended NCLH calls for 2023.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
That's the reason I went for 2023. 30 calls, it's like 2.2, 2.3. I have like 2.7. If you can buy this, it gives you, instead of buying 100 stocks, buy 10 lots of this. 100 stocks will give you like cost of 2100. This will take you a cost of 2300 roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 10 lots and just leave them and forget about them.
Yeah.
Like I did this in SPY, and this the only thing which over a huge period has given me substantial return. I invested in 500 calls at 90 cents. It's trading at 24. I still have more than a year left in my calls. This was 90 cents when I invested, and it was $8 or $9 when I said about this when I started using the YouTube. From $8 or $9 to 26.
Oh wow.
So for airlines, invest and just forget. Do 1,000 to 2,000, because then it will not have any pain for you. And just forget it.
Right. Yeah, I am invested, but it's just that like outside of price action, I want to follow some other indicators. What could those be?
See, indicators, I think you need to figure it out yourself, that what works for you, because that can only come once you start looking at the chart and seeing what indicator gives you a clarity. I cannot say that, yes, use this, use that. But if you have to start using indicators, start practicing and look like, for example, I have this chart as well, which I used to use previously. So here I use DMI, which is one of the best indicators I found, TTM squeeze. But then you have to have a correlation. In the past, when there was a crossover of these prices, what was my DMI, what was my TTM squeeze, what my RSI, and then it creates too much of confusion for me. So now I only look at the price action.
Yeah.
So you need to try this out with some back testing and then see if it works for you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Noel.
No problems. Hi, Jagdish.
Hey, yeah, hey Sikka. This is Jagadish. I trade only Amazon, Netflix, and SPX when it comes to option trading. So I feel, since based on the history, Netflix always goes up pre-earnings, and right now I see it has a good potential as well. So what's your thoughts on that, Sikka?
Netflix is coiling really, really tightly.
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't mean that it always runs pre-earnings. I have seen it not run at all. Not run at all, I mean.
Yeah, I agree.
So it all depends on the market sentiment at that time. Right now, it made a double top. It went here, came back, bounced from it. It's trying to make an inverted head and shoulders. If it comes back to 616, 617, or 622, that will be a confirmation that it's going to give a move, but
Yep.
not at this time.
Okay. Yeah. And one more suggestion, Zika. So I made good money with these stickers, but I only stick with this. Is it a good strategy, or should I start looking at
So if anything
other?
is working for you, why you want to change that?
Yeah, I agree. I lose money when I trade something else, but these are the
See,
stickers.
you need to. There are few things which work for you. Do
Yep.
not like deviate from that.
Okay.
Just keep on trading on them.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Zika. That's it.
No problem. Hi, Richard.
Hey Naval, how are you, my friend?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Two things. I put together that Google Doc.
Yep.
I don't know if other people might find that helpful, but I thought as we're thinking about 2022 together,
Yes.
some of that stuff about the bond purchases ending in this year, how that might impact money flows, all that gobbledygook. That could be a good place to just keep
Yep.
those themes around.
I agree.
So anybody, and if anybody's on the call that wants to edit and add to the document, feel free. I posted it to the Telegram group too.
Sure. I will start adding all the fundamental themes over there so that we can, because technical, it's very difficult to predict, but fundamental, anything which is there, we can put that there and then make a theme-based trade on that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, but I don't want to add more work to your plate. So like if you just post something onto your Twitter, I'm sure one of us could take it and put it into the doc as well. So don't I don't want to add another thing to all you do for us.
That will be really good if that can happen.
Yeah. No, thank you. And also just as far as some ticker goes, Facebook. I've really gotten faked out on Facebook the last couple of days. I thought it was going to blast up to that 53 level, but it's really struggling right here at this 40 level.
See, right here, this was previous candle where it has failed. Almost came there and failed once again. And that's why like 355 was my target first and then 365. It needs to hold this 342.90. It closed right on that. I think it will bounce back. May not happen this week, but for sure next week. Because its inverted head and shoulder pattern was almost ready. It's right here. It was ready. But it's still there. So even if it goes like this, I'm okay.
There is a little gap below. You see that little gap underneath there?
But that's I want it to be hold. Yeah. I don't want this gap to be filled. If this gap is held like here, we talked about last time, if we hold the gap on the positive momentum, that's a plus. It has not been filled. I want this to remain as a gap so that it can carry on and continue its move. It needs to catch up this long-term trend line. It needs to catch up. So it has substantial potential to it.
Okay. All right. Then again,
thank you. It may not take like it may not happen in a time span what we are thinking, but if we held this cap, because remember we talked about 305 and then we ran through it almost 350. That's about 15% move. And I'm still holding my March call. I'm not selling them. So I wanted to hold this cap so that by March I can see 400. You see, all this area, it has struggled a lot. Almost 2.5 months, almost 3 months, like from September last day till here, this pink block is there and it's not able to have a good closing above this. Like any green candle closing to the high, I've not seen that. If we have that one green candle, that's it. So
Now,
till the moment it's holding that gap, I'm still positive on this.
Now on your chart, I know you don't recommend us to use these pink and turquoise blocks, but that's supply zones and demand zones. Is that roughly what we're looking at?
Yes, but they are based on certain factors like MACD and EMAs.
Got it. So like in theory, all those pink areas means there's lots of overhead supply so that for the stock to cover through that pink area, it's kind of like an Ichimoku,
No,
right?
see, right now it's showing a buying zone here. That's why I always recommend not to use this because it's difficult to interpret it. Right now, this is signaling me to buy here, but this buy has been a failure for last 3 months. You see this pink arrow?
Yeah.
It is suggesting a buy here, but it's not a buy.
I mean, there's clearly overhead supply. So
But this is saying that, yes, it's a demand zone. It's not a supply zone.
Okay. And then to our problem child, Amazon, I just can't understand why this thing doesn't go higher.
I have no idea. I've like burned myself so much on Amazon and Boeing. I should like do something about this. Like it's such an annoying thing. For last almost 2 years, I like tagged Andy Jesse. Look at this nuisance.
I mean, it looks like IWM, right? Like that. If you told me that
IWM at least had this piece from here. This is not in IWM. IWM was like this. This is an additional overhead which is there in Amazon. It's consolidating so hard. It just needs that one reason to move on, a split. Otherwise, it's not going to do that. And I'm not sure why all the stakeholders who are big stockholders in this company are not pushing for it. Like if you invested in May of last year or June of last year, 2020, you are still watching. It doesn't give me any kind of dividends. So if I'm a shareholder, what I'm doing with Amazon, if it does a 1 to 10 split, this stock will be 6,000 by the time it gets split. This will become the #1 company in the world. And it has potential. Like if you talk at AWS, AWS has more business than Microsoft Azure. E-commerce of Amazon is huge. Now it's expanding itself into multi-sectors like Prime Video. It's another game which is free of cost if you're buying Amazon. And they are creating their own fleet. They have invested into Rivian, their own automobile. This company deserves much better valuations. But no, they are not ready to split. I don't know why.
I mean, it's literally 2 years. The company value has not changed appreciably. If you compare this chart to Apple or compare it to Google or compare it to Facebook, it's like, I just don't get it. Like
the same frustration you're feeling, I'm feeling.
Yeah. I mean, and you were going through the FinViz 1 year SP 500 chart, and you could see how much of a laggard Amazon has been in comparison to the others. It's yeah.
Like in that FinViz map, right? You will see this.
The FinViz 1 year, right? Yep.
It's only 1%. Like, I'm not sure why 1%. Be in red, man. Like it's showing some kind of consolation by giving 1% gain. No, I don't want 1%. Be red, man. Screw me. Like all these companies, Nvidia 131%, the main mover of the S&P. AMD 63%. Disney is fine because it had issues, but why Amazon is 1%? It should be red. It should be minus 100%. I'm so frustrated. I don't have words for it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes they say like when the stock is like so frustrating, so painful that everybody just gives up on it, that's when it takes off. And we kind of saw that with BA. I think both you and I were just at our wits' end of how it had cratered to 188. It was like, how is this a 188 stock? And then now it's starting to run to what, 200, 205, back to that level. I mean, I don't even look at BA, but like,
I know one weekend I will not carry Amazon and it will come with the news of split. Every weekend I carry Amazon and I lose. And the weekend I don't carry it, it's gonna blow out like anything.
Yep. Yep.
And that's the Murphy law. The moment I leave it, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. And I think just part of the frustration of trading, and I think you do a really good job of reminding us to try to disassociate the emotions from the charts and just like, what do we see in the price action? I mean, is the price action holding? Is the price action failing? So thanks for always bringing it back to what we see in the charts, and good luck out there tomorrow, the rest of the year, and I'll see you online.
Thanks, Richard. So let me start the daily analysis quickly because I have already 11:10. So let me just start from ES. Let me do the scan first for inside days. I hope all this conversation brings some level of positivity, because if we are positive, we can do much better. So nothing here for me. It's only the BA. All right, let's start. So ES, as I said yesterday, 4770 is like, even on the Twitter, 4770 is an important level. And even today, it came right to 4770. Why I chose that? Because yesterday's low was 4770. So today we respected that, and we also respected this 4779. Somehow we closed above it. So it's kind of making an inside day as of now. Yes, there is a volume decline, but if you look at, this is an average volume. It was there in November. It's not that it's too tiny of a volume. It's, the volume is still there. So I will not say that, yes, this is the end of the world. So I'm still going to hope it respects this 4779, which is a really important. In between, it is allowing the 12 EMA to catch up, has moved from 4690s to 4718, which is really good. Once it come back to 4743, that is going to be an excellent area to add if market brings down for a day or two. So I'm still keeping my instance as positive to neutral. I'm not shorting this market as of now, but I'm just calling this as neutral. And stop loss is clearly 4770, which is today's low and yesterday's low. So we should respect that. Buy above 4779. Target is 4800, which is psychological, and 4840, which is the next level. I'm giving it a 60% because I'm neutral. I'm not doing anything. Triple Q, for all the good reasons, it's making like it's failing from that 40274 area, but it's bouncing back from 399.57. So till the moment it is not breaking below or closing below 39957, I am still positive to neutral on this. If it breaks this, then things will change. But I want this 39957 as my stop loss. So 39957 is my stop loss. Buy near 401 or 400 to 40150 area. Target is, let me move this here, 40274. Keeping it 60% and I'm giving it neutral because it's not behaving. Apple might do something tomorrow, but Apple needs to contribute here. Apple is also struggling in between. Like it's roughly an inside day on Apple. So let me clear this up. 178.28 is your stop loss. Clear stop loss. Respect that, and it will trigger highs once it breaks 180. Maybe it's taking last 2 days to consolidate. And if I add volume, because people are talking about the volume, so let's see. This is the same volume which it used to have. So there's nothing which is saying that it's lagging the volume. Look at the month of October. It's the same average volume in Apple. So anybody who's saying there's low volume in the market, you need to be stock specific then. So Apple, I'm going to keep, again, everything neutral right now. Yes. But instead of buying above, I will say buy near the stop loss, 179.50 to 180 area. And I'm giving 60%. I'm still, again, guys, I'm still not short. I will going short as soon as we break 4770 or 39957. I'll be short because I'm neutral. So I'll be converting myself into short as soon as we break this. Keep this in mind. Boeing is an inside day. The volume of today is less than the volume of yesterday, and today's candle is right in between. It's trying to break out between the 12 and 34 EMA. So inside day breakout is really, really good. So keeping a stop loss of 201. So B, I'm still positive, but it's an inside day. Stop loss is 201 now, 2132. And if it goes above 205, or this one is fine. It can test all these numbers. Still 60% because it's there. Moderna, last time we went short. It came back. Again, I'm going to short this because it made a lower low and lower high. Anytime it comes around the 240-50 area, I'm going to sell this. It's a stock, anytime it comes around this area, just sell it. AMD was a failure today or yesterday. It's evening start right there. But I'm going to call this as neutral now because it has failed everything. So, neutral with an evening star. So if market, and it's very hard stop loss of 146. I'm going to call this red and inverted. It's a, let me just keep this right. It's a very hard stop loss of 146. on AMD. If it loses this, it's going to come down to 134. So anytime you see a bold number, it's a very hard stop loss. I'll just do the hard stop losses here. It totally changes their trend. In stop losses, it totally changes their trend. Buy near 147 to 148. Target is 149.50, 152.50, 155. 60%. Again, I'm just reiterating, anytime you see a bold in the stop loss, it's the change of the trade. If it is buy, then below this, you need to sell. Amazon, screw Amazon, but it's making lower lows, lower highs, but it made the low with much less volume as compared to anything in the last few days. So I'm still going to call this neutral, but I will mention this as lower lows and lower highs. Stop loss is clearly 3370. I'm not going to change that. Buy near 33 or buy above 3380. 3388. Coin. Coin is coming to a good area to enter. If you can get it around 244, which is a 61%, it's going to be good. 244 area. So coin, again, neutral. Buy near 248, 250. Stop loss 244. Target 250. 363. 265. Again in the neutral territory. D-Dog, I'm still positive, and as I said, it's giving an opportunity and it's making inverted head and shoulders very clearly. It's setting up for a inverted head and shoulders move. So I'm gonna still call this as positive. And this is one of the good stocks which I want. And the level I want to enter is, my stop loss is 176 now, 176.18, which is 176.18, and buy above 180. Target will be 184.82. I'm giving it 70% because it has tried, but it failed right there. It came back. Now it should move up again. But here the volume was pretty less as compared to average volume. Then Facebook has to hold this 342 area, and it's clearly making an evening star. So anytime it's neutral, evening star. So $342.90 is the clear stop loss here. Buy above 343. So 345.23, 355. If it loses, because I'm going to make this bold, if it loses this 342, it's be a sell. I'll make a note right here. Google, I'm still positive. This is one of the tickers where I am still feeling confident. It's respecting that 12 EMA. Did made a dodgy today, but it's a gravestone dodgy. That the open and the close are exactly the same. It opened at 239.89, closed at 2933. So I'm still positive. 2915 is my stop loss right here. So Google, I am positive. 2915, which is the 12 EMA, is my stop loss. Buy above 2933, which is open today. And Google, I'm positive, so I'm going to keep this in green. PayPal and Square, I was watching both of them. Visa has moved, so PayPal is like again gravestone dodgy. It's a good entry here. Anytime it moves or holds above this 12 EMA, it respected the 12 EMA. It definitely made a lower low, lower high, but people are confused what to do with this. Let me remove the volume just to have a clear picture. It's trying to hold this area, 12 EMA. Even after this today's shakeout, it went down, but managed to hold it. So I'm going to keep my stop loss at 188 there. I'm calling this as positive because it's able to hold that. Stop loss is 188.83. Buy above the 12 EMA, which is 189 or 190 roughly. Target I have is 194.95. And I'm positive on PayPal. Microsoft. This stock never fails. So any opportunity you have it, just buy this. Stop loss is 338.79. It's a very clear stop loss, Microsoft. 338.79. Buy near 341 to 43. Everything else is same. I don't have any resistance here. The resistance is the previous all-time high, which is 349, and this area where it has made, or the open right here. So this has been rejected here, here. So anytime it comes around 338.79, that's your stop loss. I'll add target, Sanjeev. Roku has been a disaster. Every time it comes into a zone where it should move, it fails. Finally, it's breaking down. Let me extend this. It is breaking down considerably. So I'm taking out Roku. Roku needs 240 at least to be back in the game. So let's pick up Target. Target is doing well because Walmart was doing well today. Consumer spending is getting better. 12 EMA is 227. So instead of Roku, I have Target. Positive stop loss is 227. Buy above today's high, which is 229.57. Target is 236. Both the targets are the same for MU. MU has been a tremendous trade for anybody who wanted. MU is on the money. It's running. It will continue. Like 103 is my target. Now stop loss has moved up to 94. Buy in the range 94 to 95. If you get this, buy in this range, is going to come 103, 110, and this is one of the stocks. I should mark this in blue. Mark this in green. This deserves better. Shop. Shop was doing good today. And it comes right from this area. Try to capture that 12 EMA, which is about 1394. So I'm a little bullish on this, and my stop loss will be 1370. And this stock has potential to run, because even in the bad market, it was holding really well. 1395 is 1394, 32 is 12 EMA. So if it does that, 1420, 1441 is possible in shop. Nvidia managed to hold on to this and tested 34. So it's a test of support. Nvidia, I'm going to call this as neutral. Now test of resistance should happen, which is 320 to 23. I don't know, but if it holds this area of 297.80, this should move by above 300. Risk reward here in Nvidia is much better. Tesla is failing at this line again and again, but the trend has positively changed. So anytime it comes around this area, 1060, 1070, I'll be thinking to add this. The 1050 is my stop loss, and $1,073. Let me just is my stop loss by about 1090. I'm still positive on Tesla because the 12 EMA has finally crossed over. UPST bearish engulfing, it's came down. Let me see the volume in this case. So it came down with almost equal volume here, 5 million and 5 million. So it's almost equal. Here's about 37. So I will still go for 151 long in UPST. I'm still positive here. I want to buy above 151. And my stop loss will be 140. 147.80, where it closed. 159, 168. If it moves, it will be a very quick mover. So I'm gonna there. Netflix. 610 is the stop loss. And it should be a buy above 613. I'm still bullish on Netflix. All right, so this is my list, which I will post. Let me change table design, because this looks better. All right. Snap. I can check on Snap. Snap is in a buying zone. Like it needs to hold 47 area again. If it recaptures it, then it's good. Otherwise, no. Then QComp. AMAT is like, as I said, AMAT, LRCX, they run hand in hand to MU. So AMAT should hold this 160 area and then move higher from here. So I'm still hopeful about 164 on AMAT. 164 is a very tight area for AMAT, but if it breaches it, it should go up to 170. QComp, similar to AMAT, MU, 185 is a stop loss. Above 185, it has a target of 192 to 200. Ashish, we just discussed about triple Q. You can replicate that on T triple Q. But again, it's right here. 168.80, 168.90 is your stop loss. If you're long, below this, it can come down to 164, which is a good addition. It is still in the positive territory, so I will not be a bear at this time in T triple Q. I'll be a bear if it loses 160. Starbucks. 116 has been a pain point for Starbucks. Like for last 6-7 session, it has moved almost 10%. Trend has changed, but 116, 117, like 116.97. You see, it has failed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even today, it came to 116.96, right exactly to that point and failed. It needs to cross this. Once it does, it has a move towards 119. Snow. Snow is losing the battle. I wanted it to go higher and it has wonderful ER as well, but it's kind of losing that battle. It's coming to a support. If it holds this support again, 330, it's good. If it loses this, then it's bad for Snow. It needs to recapture at least 350. 350 it needs. Once it recaptures 350, yes, it will have some positive momentum. But right now it's losing both the 12 and 34. It tried to bounce from that blue line, but I wanted to recapture the 350 area. All right, anyone else on the Zoom call wants to discuss? We have 5-10 minutes before I close them. Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Naval. I know you don't like this stock, but I was wondering what you thought of for a bounce on Zoom here.
Just sell this thing.
I like the I have on my chart like 180 as a really good like support. So I'm looking for a bounce back to at least 200.
I have serious doubts on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not able to regain this 12 EMA at all. The trend is negative and the gap is getting wider and wider. It tried, but it failed. It might even come down to 140, 150. I will not be surprised.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
If you are trying to do a long trade, you should only jump in it if it crosses 190 and give a close above 190.
So I think I currently have mid-January expiry. I think January. Sorry, let me just check right now. I have January 21st, 200 calls. I guess I'm wondering if I should. I'm debating whether to sell it right now because I'm at a loss now, as of today. But
I would
have
say
on my
just wait for the new year if there's much more spread. But my problem with Zoom is that Teams does what Zoom do. All other tools like even Google, WhatsApp, they're offering the same kind of collaborative thing. Yes, Zoom is easy to use, but it's not the uniqueness about it anymore.
no, that's
How
fair,
they're
but
going to generate the business, that's my concern.
well, I get if we're going to talk about like that, we can discuss. We can basically argue that right now Zoom allows a lot of free, has no monetization over its free users right now, right? Like us.
No, I'm not
But
free. I'm a paid user.
sorry, yeah, you're a paid user, but most of us I think would use Zoom for free, right? To chat with family or whatever.
As soon as they start to put a fees to it, you'll try to find something else.
So not fees, but from what I was reading is they're looking for a more for ad supported subscription, right? So you can basically monetize using ads. So I don't know, that to me made the most sense.
See,
If
if they do that, then yes, that's a positive. That will definitely add to their baseline.
Because
But
what is it? They have like 1 billion users or something like that, right? Right now they're one of the most added apps on Google and iOS. That really their biggest thing, just like any of these other like growth names, is that their
that's the
ability.
reason. That's the reason it went all the way to 500. But then there's a reality check as well, right?
But I think it's important to also understand that like building a big user base is very difficult, right? And there's definitely value in that.
Okay, let's do one thing. Let's see Nasdaq and look at the details about this, so that if I am looking at a wrong thing, then I should correct. So their financials.
Also, I don't know if you saw a firm's Head and Shoulders. I was talking about it before in the chat. It's curious if you agree or not.
I'll do that. 1 second. So this is the revenue. So talking about the growth story, it started from 2018. Revenue is 100%, almost 500%. Profit from 120,000 to 69. I don't know whether this is in thousands, so it's millions practically.
It's billions. So sorry, 1.8 billion they've made in profit.
Yes. And for this, they were given that incentive. Now, if I go to quarterly, okay, look at the growth now. That was annual, which I showed to you until this point. Look at the revenue quarterly. 882, 9. The 100% growth has stagnated.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely why
The profit has stagnated. Okay. So net income is not there, which like the kind of growth. This is the actual profit. So this is not comparative, like 10% growth. And if you look at the valuations of this company, it's like, okay, let me just check on because if what you are talking about adding the ads is true, then yes, it's a very good potential. It is still a $54 billion company.
Mhm.
So creating a revenue of approximately 4 billion in a year with a profit by earning of almost 50 per quarter. It's
Say
still
the
expensive.
last part again?
Huh?
Sorry, could you say the last part again? I just missed.
I'm saying the profit by earning, the P by E ratio.
Uh-huh.
Not showing the P by E ratios here. It's about 48 to 50. The P by E ratio should come here in key data. Come on. P by E 48. Which is extremely expensive. If they add that new thing, it's worthy of 48. Otherwise, it's not. So if from a fundamental, because you're talking about that addition, Netflix is also thinking to add that ads into their subscription, but they are not able to do that as of now. So I would wait for that.
Time though.
If I have to
Yeah.
like reverse my theme on Zoom.
Mhm.
Technically, it needs to recapture 190 to
Yeah.
give you a move towards 209.
So I probably should cut my losses until it hits 190 before I decide to like jump back in.
Now your stop loss should be 175 if you want to hold this position.
175.
175. 17527, that should be your stop loss. It was tested here, here, and if it tests here and hold it, that should be your stop loss.
I see. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's fair. I have I had my stop loss at around. Well, it hit my stop loss today, and then it bounced off of it. So I was like, okay, we're still okay.
Okay, then that's fair enough if you have that stop loss. But I would keep 175 in case, because I'm thinking that over the new year we might have some news about the COVID spread, and people start to stop going to schools or offices, and then all of a sudden there's a spike. That can be a trigger for you. That's why I'm saying keep some wiggle room in case until Friday.
Sure. Okay.
Something might happen over the weekend, and that will give you a good opportunity.
I mean, if it breaks my stop loss, I think I might just cut and I'll just watch carefully to see, because if I lose a $5 move, $10 move, that's not the worst thing. If I think the momentum is going to push it forward,
Yep.
right? It's better to save my.
190. If it recaptures 190 and give a close,
Mhm.
yes, something might happen over the weekend.
Yeah.
Because price action usually is first, then the actual catalyst which comes in the
Yeah.
stock.
Somebody always knows.
Somebody always knows. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Okay. I don't want to bother you anymore, Naval. Thank you so much. I appreciate
problems.
the bouncing of our ideas.
No, brother. Like this is the whole purpose of this group, to collaborate. So one last thing was Neo. Neo is again a Chinese company. It's losing, like it went right from here, 26, 27. It has a gap right here at 23, and gaps are always filled. So Miss Ravel or Pinky, there's a gap. There's a gap here. Keep an eye on this gap. This gap, low of 23 with a high of 21. So there's a gap around 21, 23. If it comes into that area, I'll be a buyer at that time, not in Neo at this time. Let me see. Long-term stocks, we'll talk about that in next year. Neo. Zoom phone is in motion. See, all these things are just talks. Once we have a clarity, then yes, I'm sure they're going to diversify because they have raised good capital, so they will diversify. But till the moment that thing is not there, I will like to wait. Losing interest in Zoom for trading purpose. You can say about that, Kenny. All right, if we do not have anything else, then we have Abhishek bhai. Yes, Abhishek sir.
Yeah, hi, Naval. So my question is related to 401k. You see, like I contribute in first 2 months for the whole year. So we are talking about like Fed money will stop coming from March. So should I wait for March and April to contribute, or
See, 401k, you are investing for a long time, right? You're not going to like recoup that money right away.
yeah,
So keep on investing. It doesn't matter because you might hold on 2-3 months. It's fine. If you want to like over a longer period, if you keep on contributing per month, the average will be much better. So
yeah. I try
small
to
up
like
and down should
contribute.
not be an issue.
Yeah, okay. I try to
But
contribute like entire 18,000 like in the first 2 months, so that like it has the whole year to earn that money. So should I wait like March, or
see,
just
I would
continue?
first thing like I'm not an advisor here,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
what I usually do is in such cases I will try to diversify my 401k into two aspects. One is into bonds where I can get a fixed income. So I will convert my 401k into two funds. One is the bond funds, which will give me 50%, because
Right,
bond yields will rise. So that will
right.
give me good money. And majority of the money in the stock market
Stop.
is in bonds. Equity is only some percentage of it. So bond is going to be there. Then I will try to move my money into index as compared to my stocks.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you.
And then it doesn't matter.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you. I hope it was good for all of you to have some level of positivity. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but let's keep our chins up, minds clear, and let's crack it for tomorrow. Alrighty. Thank you. Good night.